we just learned a ton of plans that Eric Wallace have for season 10 and 9 if season 9 was extended and season 10 actually happened. And this is a lot. I mean, it's incredible how much he had planned. And I'm really pissed off now that we're only getting 13 episodes and we're not getting a season 10 now. I really want it. So I'm leaving a link to the article I'm getting all this from in the top link description. You can go read the entire article. I'm not going to go through the entire article because it's really long. I'm only breaking up into chunks of this video. I'm looking at two major sections that were related to season 10 and some parts of season 9. And then I'm just going to be talking about the rest of the video because it's huge. I mean, this is something that I never thought would even be brought up. So Eric Wallace is asked by the interviewer if there were some story arcs that he wished that he had done for the show but weren't able to due to time. And, the interviewer wanted to hear more, which obviously we all want to hear more from that. Eric Wallace said, "Gosh, there's so many. I'm so bummed. We were going to do all kinds of things. I can tell you we're going to tackle the Forever War storyline, which is something that came up for season 10. That's going to be a season opener, and we've been hinting at it. I want to do a full-on crossover with as many characters as possible." So that would have been huge. I mean, probably bigger than Armageddon is what I'm looking at. The Blackest Night storyline, which, I mean, everyone was talking about last season. It was teased with Deathstorm, with the box, with Dig. The Blackest Night storyline that we started hitting at last year with Dig and the box, he was going to continue that one of these storylines, so he was bummed that they're not going to do that now. He wanted to bring Despero with his alien friends, which was teased in Armageddon. 805, Despero said he would be back. I even did a full video, 2 months ago, theorizing that Despero could be back in season 9, because he did tease that he would be back, and he would be a much bigger threat. So, we were going to get that. And they were going to have a full-on alien invasion that would have featured the entire Justice League at the Hall of Justice coming in and helping Barry. We're not going to do that either, so these things happen. Having said that, on my bucket list of things I did want to accomplish, you'd be surprised over half of them are in season 9, so there are spoilers I can't really talk about. We just took episode 200 and turned it into the series finale, so I'm very happy that we're actually getting to do that. And it's going to be an incredibly emotional story, specifically for Barry and the fallout from it, and how he and Iris kind of handle it. I mean, this is just the main chunk I want to talk about, but Eric Wallace did bring up he had a plan for the 200th episode. Episode 200 of The Flash, which would have been season 10. Now, season 9 got 20 episodes. I frankly would be less worried about this season. I think Eric Wallace would be too. Now, I knew after season 8 that Eric Wallace, when he really focuses on something, he can make a good story work in most cases. Some, like Iris and, Caitlin, not so much. Or Cecile. But for Barry, I mean, he delivered the best Barry story I've ever gotten in the series in season 8. I think almost all of us can agree on that, hopefully. Even though it did kind of sideline Iris and Caitlin and, things that really shouldn't have been done, but it was done. If Eric Wallace had a season 10, had more episodes in season 9, I think season 9 could have been way better. I mean, especially with the Justice League crossover thing, I mean, that would have been, way up there in story arcs with how good it would have been. Even if, the writing was crappy, it still would have been much better Crisis on Infinite Earths and Invasion, the original Invasion, or, Elseworlds. I don't think it would top Crisis on Earth X, or Armageddon. Although it may have top Armageddon. I don't know. But it would have really been up there with, the top tier crossover stories that we've gotten. I mean, it sounded cool. Despero and his alien friends. Despero can rival Kryptonians. That would have 100% had Kara and Clark in it. So I wonder if Eric Wallace, when he asked for Tyler to appear in season 8 for Armageddon, that it was for something along these story arcs. but he didn't get that, so he was hoping season 9 or 10 to bring Tyler back along with Melissa if she wanted to have Despero and his friends are, I would assume, as powerful as him. And it's them three, Barry, Clark, and Kara, if not more, maybe Black Lightning and Sarah Lance, all of them teaming up, and Ryan, which would be cool, all teaming up to take down Despero and his friends. Now, the thing that I keep reminding myself is that they can always do another comic release. Like they did with the Earth Prime comics, which are canon to the Arrowverse. I've talked about it several times, and it's going to come through in season 9 with Bloodwork returning, Oliver returning, and most likely Phantom Girl showing up, and Cisco, if that's the one that's going to play out. But the Earth Prime comics are canon. Stargirl confirmed that first. Superman and Lois, so I'm assuming, do something because they were a part of it. And Supergirl's issue, Batwoman's issue, Legends issue will all be connected somehow, some way to this big thing. So they can always do a comic release to say, hey, this is what was going to happen in season 10, The Flash. We're doing like 6 issues of The Flash. This is what's going to happen. I think that's the next best thing, because not only does it work for the actors who want to be done, like, I'm not saying that we know this, but just for example, if Grant wants to be done playing The Flash, because he's been doing it for 10 years, like, you know, he deserves to be done after all this time. He doesn't want to come back, at least for, like, several more years, unless there's, like, some big major thing that he really wants to do, and he's excited for it. But, you know, like Steven is right now for season 9 of The Flash, or was, sorry, if you notice he's coming back for the season finale, series finale. It's... They could always do comics. And, I mean, that would still keep the Arrowverse alive. I said that when the Earth Prime comics came out. I think in one of the reviews I predicted that season 9 would be the last. I had a feeling that it would be. And to keep the Arrowverse going, they could just do comics. I'm not saying forever here, but like storylines like this, that would fit perfectly into a comic release of like 6 or 7 issues, maybe 5 if they really want to, written by the Flash writers and Eric Wallace. You know, first off, you won't have to worry about calling actors in, right? You don't have to worry about CGI with Despero, which sometimes it lacked, right? Don't have to worry about that. You can make your own designs for Despero that you couldn't in the show. Make them all different, bring his alien friends, make them different to what they would have been in the show. And, I mean, they brought Supergirl back in the comics. They could do that easily. They brought Tyler back in the comics. You don't need the actors for that. Like, they know what they look like. So they make them in the comics, and, you know, there you go. And they could do that if Eric Wallace's ideas, like 5 years down the line, if they want to bring the comics to life, they could do like a solo movie on HBO Max, or Netflix even, where you bring all these actors back for like a 20-year Arrowversary, and they do this comic, you know, story that's canon to the Arrowverse in live action. If they really truly wanted to go down this route, I think it'd be the best possible option. I'd be okay with that, because then I'd still be able to do Flash content. After the Flash is done, I'd still be able to do content like that. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do think there'll be more Arrowverse canon comics. I really hope this is one of them. And I hope someone brings that up to Eric Wallace, because I think he would really like that idea. But I believe the comic should have been a thing like seasons ago of The Flash and the Arrowverse. I mean, I think it would have helped a lot with what's going on in between seasons, right? Because we had a ton of comics, but none of them were canon to the Earth Prime comics. So the Earth Prime comics were like, you know, in between season 8, season 9. We know what's going on with most characters, and what's going on in 2049 with, you know, the Spectre showing up and Excess and Bart becoming their own heroes now. And Martian Manhunter fighting Bloodwork and, you know, all that. That was done in the comics that the Flash writers wrote, issues number 5 and 6. So it wouldn't truly surprise me if it was a whole thing of where's it going from here and all that. I would really like it if we did get that. I think it would be amazing. It would work for Eric Wallace because, again, he didn't really get screwed over because season 7, he could have taken the 4 storyline out. I get why he didn't because it connected season 8, and season 8, led the whole big thing. But Eric Wallace did get screwed over. I know a lot of us won't admit that, but he did. COVID impacted season 6 heavily in the back half. We had to deal with COVID in season 7, which impacted the first half heavily. First half of season 7 very heavily. The back half was okay, but it wasn't the best, obviously. And then season 8 came in, and it kind of redeemed season 7's writing, but it still introduced like Cecile's crap, Allegra, which was better than 7, but still, we need better stuff for her. Tessa was an improvement. Caitlin was great in the first half, then Frost died, which is okay. And then they're going to botch that. They're going to botch Caitlin. They're going to botch Mark, Blaine, Chill Lame. I mean, it's just going to be it's going to be something. But I really do want to see where the story arc would go. I think it'd be amazing to see in the comics, if not live action, which I don't think it will happen. But it would be so cool to finally see what's going to happen in that story arc in or Arrowverse canon comics, which again, they can do now because they set that up. I think it worked very damn well. And again, you don't need the actors for it. All you need is the Flash writers and Eric Wallace. Not even the Flash writers, it's a bunch of writers. And you get Eric Wallace, to lead the writers that are writing these comics. There you go. I mean, it would have been so amazing. And I think the thing is to really show here is that I think that I can go on for hours talking about this, but I'm not going to. It really bums me that we're not getting season 10. I always said that I think the show goes season 10. If it really wanted to top Smallville, because I think The Flash has the capacity to do that. But with this news coming out that Eric Wallace planned for season 9, season 10, it makes me wonder if the CW told Eric Wallace to end on season 9, or if Grant decided to end on season 9. Because I could have sworn there's a report saying that Grant and Eric Wallace came to a decision together to end, but the fact that Eric Wallace had planned season 10 and 9 to be a 2-season joint major story arc, like season 6, 7, and 8 were, I mean, it would have been something. It would have been huge. I mean, it would have, defied the Arrowverse in this major story arcs. I really do believe that. And season 9, right now, with what we got, is all about the Arrowverse fans and the Flash fans, West Allen fans, getting what us all have been asking for. Whether you support Chess and Allegra being together, whether you support Iris getting more stories, better stories, written stories, Barry being the Flash, or Red Death. I mean, that's the villain I've been wanting since season 4, but and they teased in season 5, they didn't do anything with it. Now we're finally doing something with it. I think it's going to work out great, hopefully. Cobalt Blue, which is the villain that everyone's been wanting since season 1, the Flash. Assuming Cobalt Blue, let's be real here. And Oliver showing up in season 9, I mean, we've been wanting that since he died. Coming back one last time. In season 8, I was really predicting that, and I was wrong, but I'm glad I'm not wrong about season 9, because I did a full video predicting that he would appear in season 9, and I was right. Not the gloat, but I'm glad I was right, is my point. But season 9 is going to be a major ode to the Arrowverse fans, the Flash fans, whether you're a West Allen fan, Flash fan, Caitlin fan, or Allegra Chesser fan, or Cecile fan, which is not a lot of you. But Eric Wallace is really, truly, from what I'm seeing right now, this is not even premiered and I'm saying this, so I could be wrong. Come back to this video if I'm wrong and you can tell me how stupid I am. But it really does seem like Eric Wallace, and what he's saying from what we've seen in trailers and set photos, that he is listening to the fans, and he does want to make this season a big fan service. After season 8 was a massive fan service of hardcore Flash fans, the Flash fans in the comics. I'm not saying the show, I'm saying in the comics, where Barry is confident, powerful, he's actually the fastest man alive for more than 1 minute, and he actually does stuff on his own mainly. That's the Barry I've been wanting since season 2 of The Flash. Season 8 delivered that. My big problem is that they can't nerf from season 9. I said that for months. I'm going to keep on saying it until season 9 premieres in 2 days. But season 9 is going to be a big fan service to everyone. I believe that. I truly do believe that. And it sucks we're not getting more episodes. I think I'd be a little bit more excited about season 9 if we were. Because all the guest stars showing up is a little bit worrying the more and more I think about it. Because there's 20 now, by the way. But it's going to be amazing. And I truly do have hope that, Eric Wallace knows what he's doing. And he will make season 9 the best he possibly could. With the episodes he's been given. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for the video. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.